Right, in this video, we're going to look at task SS2. In the previous task for SS1, we completed formulas, the sum formula to find the total paid for each walker. The average formula was used to find out the average of all the payments. The balance formula was done using a simple subtraction formula, as you can see up here. Let me double click here so you can see, along with an absolute cell reference. And then we went ahead and we completed an if statement. Right, the next task wants us to do some data handling, so sorting. It wants us to sort the data. So it says here, sort the payments worksheet in alphabetical order of first name within alphabetical order of last name. So it wants us to do alphabetical order of last name first and then the first name. You can see here that you've got some repeated surnames. So like here, Khawalde, you got Shelby Khawalde, Hugh Khawalde, and Isabel Khawalde. So what it wants us to do is to make sure first it's ordered by surname, and then within the surname sort, it then orders by first name. So A to Z will be evident in last name, but you won't necessarily see A to Z in first name, because it just depends on how this was sorted first. Okay, so what you're going to do is select all your data first. That's the first thing you do. Select all your data. There we go. And then you go to sort here. Then you select here, sort by whatever you want to sort by. I think what it's done here, right, it has assumed, yes, my data has headers. So if I uncheck that and say my data doesn't have headers because I didn't include all the headings here, I can then go ahead and just select whatever column I want to sort by. So here I know I want to do by last name first, so it's column B, values A to Z, and then I can add a level and say, oops, sorry, that's supposed to be column B, values A to Z, and then by first name, and then by column A, values A to Z. Click OK, and you can see that everything that is related to each row went with that row, no matter where it moved. Okay, so there's no loss of data integrity. That means the data is not messed up. It is still with the person that it's supposed to be with, rather than being messed up. So let me do that again so you can see. I'm just going to Control Z. So I'm going to select all the data. This time I'm going to select the headings as well, just so you can see that you can do it both ways. Sort, sort by column B, which is last name. If you want if you want to see the actual names of the headings, you can go ahead and click that. My data has headers. And then it just basically shows the name of the column heading. This sometimes makes it easier, so it might be better actually just to select the whole table of data, including the headings. So, and then just make sure that this is checked. Right, so first we're sorting by last name in order of A to Z. Then we're sorting by first name in order of A to Z. Now just check, for example, let's look at Alex Dong. Alex Dong was born on the 28th of January and the total paid is $650. So let's just keep that in memory when we go ahead and do the sort, so you know that it absolutely has worked and every data has gone with the person. There we go. So Alex Dong, there we go, 28th of January, and the total paid is $650. So everything moved to where it was supposed to go. So that's how you would do the sort. So that was worth 3 marks. Okay. Now it says format the worksheet so that columns I, J, K, and L have suitable labels. So a label is a heading. So format the worksheet. Format means change the look of or sort it out. Format the worksheet so that columns I, J, K, and L have suitable labels. I, J, K, and L. Now I did this before in the previous task when I was explaining, just so it was less confusing. You can go ahead and adjust any headings if you think they need to be adjusted. So I've got total paid, average of the payments, a balance to pay, and reminder. I'm happy with them. I'm going to leave them as they are. If you want to make it a bit more informative, then you can. For example, you can select average, and we can just say average of payments. So the average of their payments, and then you can just make that bigger if you want to make it bigger. Here we go. Balance to pay, you can change it if you want to, but I'm just going to leave it as it is. So columns I, J, K, and L now have suitable labels. Right, currency values show the currency symbol with no decimal places. Right, currency values. Currently, you can't see any currency values because they're numbers, but you know they are currency values, you know they are money values. So basically what this one is asking us to do, what this task is asking us to do, it's asking us to put a currency symbol in front of all the numbers that actually are money values. It does make a difference if you leave numbers and figures without currency values, because then you can't immediately recognize it as a money value. So then the data is a bit more difficult to interpret. So we're going to go ahead and select all the data that should have a currency symbol. So the payments from January, February, March, April, May, the total paid, the average payment, and the balance, all of this is all currency. So let's keep it local currency. We're going to right click and go to Format Cells. And then from here, you've got a different selection here of data types. We want to go ahead with currency. We're going to leave it as 2 decimal places. It said no decimal places, right? So let's get rid of the decimal places. And in this case, it doesn't specify a currency. So you can just choose, in some cases, $sign or the pound sign. But I just want to show you that you can actually find, most currencies of the world. I'm going to type A because I know AED begins with A, and this will take me to the list of currencies beginning with A. That's fine, and I'm going to click OK. So you can see here that it's put AED in front of all the money values. This here is happening because my column is not wide enough to show all the data, because AED was now added. There you go, it can now be seen. And also up here, this needs to be a currency value as well. So I'm going to right click, Format Cells, Currency, no decimal places, go to AED. Okay, there you go. Now every monetary value has AED in front of it, so that's been done. So that's worth 1 mark. All data is visible. Right, this means that you've got no data that's like this, like cutting off names. You've got no data that's hashtagged, which means it's not wide enough. Oops, that went too big because of this is not merged. Let me just go ahead and merge that. So I'm merging that and then just making this a bit, it's done it again. Oh, never mind. Okay, fine. Let me just manually drag it then. Make it a bit wider. Here we go. If you think that some of your columns are just a bit too close together, then you can just manually widen as you need to. Don't widen it too much, because then it just involves a bit of unnecessary scrolling. Okay, that's all right. I'm just going to leave it like that. All data is visible. I can see all the data. And the presentation is improved. Now, this is worth 2 marks. So you've got to do a couple of things. One thing you should do when you've got data in a spreadsheet, especially if it's got, loads of, which it will have, rows or columns, is that you add borders. So I'm going to go ahead and select all of this data here and go ahead and add borders. I'm also just going to go ahead and do it here as well. This I'm just going to merge and center. This I'm going to merge and center. This actually is a bit lopsided. It shouldn't be there. So I'm just going to bring it back here maybe. Here we go. And then just merge and center it there. Headings should really stand out from the details. So I'm going to select all the heading cells together, and I'm just going to change the color, just make it green for now. Headings can also be bold, because again, it just makes them stand out a bit more. I might actually go ahead and make this row a bit taller, and then this, I'm going to do something called wrapping text, and then that just takes words onto the next line, so the column doesn't have to be, awkwardly wide. Okay, I think that's fine. That's fine. If you wanted to change the name, the color, of other cells, then you can do, but just be careful not to go overboard. I mean, this is enough. I might highlight that. Maybe just do that, and maybe just change the color of that, because it is like a key value up there. There you go, that's fine. So by presentation improved, it just means, make it easier to read, make it a bit more appealing, make certain things stand out, and you'd get a couple of marks for that. Okay, right, so enter task SS2 and your name, etc. in the footer. So remember how to do that. Go to insert. Let me just make this a bit smaller. So insert. I've lost it now. Let me go back here. insert header and footer, go down to footer. Here you go. So this should be task SS2. Oh, I remember now, I didn't actually put task SS1 for the previous task, but I should have. Anyway, task SS2, my name is Hussein and my teacher's name is Mrs. Hussein. That's fine. Remember how to get out of this view. You switch views by going back to normal view. There we go. So the footer's been added. Save the spreadsheet as task SS2, right? This is where you must do file save as, because currently we're working with task SS1, but we don't want to save over SS1. We want to save as, and in the folder wherever it's appropriate. Task SS2. Go ahead and click save, and then it says save or export a PDF of the payments worksheet onto one side of A4. Right, okay, so let's go ahead and make a PDF of this. Let me just go through the process again, even though it is already set, because I was already using this for task SS1 and I've already set up the page. Let me show you again. To make sure you save just the necessary data to PDF or print, if you will be printing, select all the data first, then go to page layout and select set print area. So this is now just going to keep this range of data in mind when it comes to printing. Then you can go to, let me go to print just to show you what it looks like. So this is all fitting onto one page, which is exactly what we wanted. It's doing that because it's remembered my settings from before. Landscape, you can do narrow margins if you want to leave it as custom because you're going to do this anyway. Fit sheet on one page, and then that's fine. So that looks fine to me. That would print. If you had to print this, then that would print fine. You would just go ahead and select your printer and print. But in this case, we are saving as a PDF. Now, in some cases, you will have some sort of facility to print to PDF. That just means you're saving it as a PDF. Otherwise, you would just do save as PDF. Let me just go ahead and do both. Let me just go ahead and do my whatever function I've got here for PDF. Microsoft print to PDF. And then if I actually go ahead, I can just check this is on one page, it's all on one page. If I just go ahead and press print, then what this actually does is it saves as a PDF. So it's not actually going to physically print, it's just saving as a PDF. So you might have that available on your device. If you don't, then you'll just save as PDF. So let me go ahead and just save this. So this is task SS2. I'm saving everything here as a PDF file. And it's saying printing, but it's actually just saving. It's just saving, okay? So once that is done, it would have saved. So let me just go to my desktop where my folder is. Here we go. There's a PDF file. And there you go. So it has saved as a PDF. So if you don't have that option of print to PDF, then you'll simply do File, Save As, pick the folder where you want the work to go, and then change the file type here to PDF. And then you would just save it in the same way and press save. Okay, I'm just going to press cancel because I already saved it. Right, okay, that's how you complete SS2. SS2C wanted you to talk about the formatting features that you use to improve the presentation of your worksheet. So this is where you just screenshot this into Microsoft Word or whichever word processor you've got, and just talk about, you know, the use of the fill or the borders, or making things bold so that the headings stand out, or so it's easier to read when you use borders. Cancel that. So you should do that separately in a word processor file. Okay, right, that's the end of this video.